Hey, I'm coming on there again. This is crazy. Okay, so let me guard my words. Lord, help me to only speak what's important to speak and to not say things that are harmful or in any way slanderous or anything. Help me, Lord, to only speak the truth. In Jesus' name. Okay. I feel like it's important to come on here because I want to share what's happening to me in hopes that it might help, somebody else who might be going through it, or if somebody else has some ideas of what I could do. Okay, so I'm living in a house and that I rented, and okay, let me start it out like this. Okay, so I rented the house and I'm working and everything, and I love the house. It's nice, it's an older house, but it's really nice. So I've been happy, fine, secure, feeling. I always tried, I always felt secure in my car. With God, you feel secure everywhere, right? But here's what happened. Okay, let me try to put this story together, and Lord help me not to, get off track. Okay. The first thing that happened that gave me a weird feeling was, okay, well, there was a day that I had air conditioning people that came. The landlord told me, they were going to come check the filters. They come every year at this time of year to all their, to all their rentals, and they check, the air filters, service the air conditioning. That's fine, right? And I was even here when they came, so that was no problem, right? I'm just mentioning that was right after it happened. Okay, so they came, which they had nothing to do with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they did. But right after that, right after they were here, I noticed that I started having a lot of chirping, right? You know how, like when a fire alarm needs to be changed, right? And I'm not going to get into, you all already know about the fire alarms and what kind of things are happening in them. And okay, well, anyway, we're not even going to go there. We're not. Because, you know what I mean? We already know, and there ain't no point in, going on and on. Okay, so right after that, the chirping. Then the next morning, I wake up and I go up to get ready for work upstairs. And in the middle of one of the bedrooms is a brick wrapped up like a present, right? In the middle of the friggin' room, right? So I call the landlord, and, she's like, oh, well, let me, find out if anybody knows about it that was there. Maybe they left it or something. I'm like, okay. So anyway, she said that she talked to somebody who cleaned the place before I moved in, and they said that they seen it and they were using it to hold the doors open. Okay, so like as a door opener or whatever. Okay, so I let that go, and I'm like, okay, well, I was really kind of freaked out because, well, first of all, though, even if you were using it as a door opener, why is it in the middle of the floor now? Right? I mean, right? Like, okay, so it was in the house, but why is it in the middle of my floor? Right? Okay. So I let that go. I figured it was just somebody trying to freak me out or scare me, right? But, that doesn't work too good on us because we've already been through the fire and hell and everything else. Okay, so the little things like that don't scare us. So, but it puts that in the back of your mind, somebody's in my house, right? You get it in, then they've been in here. Okay, they're starting the thing, right? Okay, so I already knew then. Well, then the next event that occurred was I came in and I had left my air conditioning on, and I came in and the air conditioning was turned off. Well, you would think, well, maybe you turned it off, right? No, not when you knowingly went and turned it on so that when you come home from work, it would be cool, right? So I knew then that somebody had been in the house also, right? And it's almost like as I feel that they've been in here. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. So, and that was just a confirmation of what I was already feeling, right? Was the air. Okay. So that's the second thing. All right, third thing is I'm at work, right? Not even close to my house, all the way across town. And I get in my car and my emergency brake has been pushed down to the ground, right? I never push it down. You know, people say, well, you might have accidentally done it. Okay, no, I didn't. Number one, okay, no, I did not. Just like they used to say that about the turn signals being turned on and the friggin' emergency brake. You know what you've done when you get out of your car. I'm not saying it could never happen. I'm just saying I know it didn't happen, right? Okay. So they've been in my car. So now I know that they've been in my house and they've been in my car, okay? And still yet, you know, I'm like, okay, I will lay down and I will sleep because the Lord sustains me, right? But the Lord also doesn't want us to be stupid, right? He gives a brain to use, right? Sometimes he gives us these signs and these warnings, you know, before something happens so that we can act. Okay, so anyway, then, yeah, I'm not done. Okay, so then I'm just going on about my life, right? Trying to, you know, live my life. Yesterday I was off, I was cleaning, went to the store, you know, cooked dinner, right? Everything normal. Had my garage door opener, had my keys, put them in the same place I always put them, in my drawer. All right, took my shower, went to bed, whatever. Couldn't sleep because I knew they'd been in my house yesterday, because when I came in from the grocery store, okay, I went to the grocery store, which is about a mile away, and was there for about 20 minutes, maybe 30 at the most. Came back and someone had been in my garage. Okay, so that I knew that they'd been in my house as well. So, but, and I can't explain to you how I know that, I just do. Okay, so anyway, on the back of the garage door it says, girls only. And I don't know, I made some comments like, if I want to have 50 men in here, I will. Because it's, you know what I mean? I pay the bills here and I'm grown. But I'm not going to do that because, you know, I'm celibate, been celibate for years and been, you know, consecrated to the Lord. So I'm not going to do anything like that. Even if it is, you know, something that would make whoever it is mad, I still wouldn't do it. But anyway, it's just the point that I know it's somebody knows me because of what they wrote. Girls only, right? Okay. So then, so I'm already ticked at this point. So I send the picture of the writing to my landlord. I texted it to her and I said, look at this. Have you seen this before? You know, because I thought, am I losing my mind? I mean, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, no, you know you ain't lost your mind. You know when it happened. It happened while you were gone to the grocery. Don't you hate it when we second guess ourselves? When we know that we know that we know, and then we go, oh, maybe it ain't true. That's like when somebody's lying to you and you go, oh, well, maybe they're not lying. You know they're lying. Stop pretending, right? You know it's true. Okay. So, because some things are so hard to take, right? Some things are just so hard to take that it's almost like you want to believe the lie, right? That's what's wrong with, you know, a lot of society, because it's called it's not normalcy bias. Well, it is kind of normalcy bias too, but it's just where things are so over the top. Right? And it goes totally against everything that's normal to you. And you just want to keep it in that normal way. Even if it means acting like you don't see it. Right? But see, we can't do that. As children of God, we can't do that because we know the truth. And the truth will, you know what I mean? It sets you free. But it also will never stop telling you the truth. Right? The truth will never stop telling you the truth until you understand and stop denying it. Okay, so I don't know why it always looks like I got something on my teeth. Well, I can't brush my teeth right now because I got to go get toothbrushes, because they take my toothbrush. This is something I just know instinctively. I don't know how I know this, but they take my toothbrush when I'm not around, right? And they get access to it. And they scrub the toilet brush with it and then put it back into my case so it'll make me sick. Okay? I don't know how I know it. I just do. So anyway, Well, probably because it started out a long time ago. I got a real bad gum infection, and I couldn't figure out how, and I felt like I just knew then what it was. So anyway, long story short, there's nothing on my tooth. It just always looks like that on video for some reason. Discolored. Okay. So anyway, back to the story. I'm going to try to stay focused here, you know. So they wrote on the wall, or wrote on the door. Okay. So I come in, I'm like, Lord, they've been in here. I'm saying this to myself, right? Lord, they've been in here. They've written on the wall to let me know that they've been in here. What should I do? And I didn't feel him urging me to leave. So I just was like, okay. So, but I couldn't sleep. Okay, so I'm not even done though. All this has happened like within a week. Okay, so then I'm sitting here after I just got through reading my Bible, or I don't know, talking to him or something. I was in fellowship, right, with him, trying to seek him. And all of a sudden I got this feeling, go check the security lights. They've been turned off. And sure enough, I got up and I went out my door out to the porch area where the security lights are, and somebody had turned off my security lights. So when I opened the door, it didn't come on. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? So I'm like, okay, so they are planning something. I mean, you know, it's one thing when people are coming in your house, like maybe trying to, you know, put something in your food or something, you know, trying to do indirect damage, right? That's bad, right? But that's not as bad as when you know that they're plotting to do harm to you, right? There's a difference in between the levels. Okay, so I go, okay, thank you, Lord. And I turned them back on, and I made sure they came on. And see, in order to turn them off, they would have to either come in the other door and go through that door and turn them off again. Or they would have to walk up and set it off in order to turn them off. So I was like, okay, well, I just had to be okay with that for now. So I came in, you know, and did my prayers, and I just have faith, and I just laid down, and I thought, well, I'm going to go to sleep. Well, then I couldn't sleep. My mind was, you know, I was watching for the security light. You know, I wasn't really listening for anything because I had my headphones in. I give it to God, right? We give it to God. What else are we going to do? Right? What else can you do? Give it to God. Have faith. Right? But God, you know, God gives us a brain to use. You know, it's like I'm torn between what to do, because it's like my conscience, mind, my intellect is saying, get out of here, right? My intellect is going, look, get out of here. It's a setup. It's a trap. It's a trap, right? But my spirit is calm and not really too worked up over it, unbelievably. My brain now, that's another thing. Like right now, my brain is going, you got to do, yeah, you know, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to, right? And my spirit's just like, chill out. Oh, so I got the police on their way because I have to do a report because this is too weird. You've got to report it. Because if they do something to me, I want it to be reported, right? You want to at least have it on documentation so that if something happens to you, they can say, yep, she said it was, right? At least, right? Maybe it would help them catch whoever did it. So I'm just coming on, you know, to talk about this, but, you know, he gave me Job this morning, and you know, that's why I made that other video about, you know, about dealing with all these things, these afflictions, these things in our life, right? That he allows, or he brings upon us sometimes to grow us and to teach us, you know, how to trust, how to endure, how to overcome. So it's just, I just thought I should come on because, first of all, I needed to tell somebody. And secondly, I wanted to know if anybody else, you know, has been through this. If anybody else is going through this. What was weird was, okay, now, I don't know if, Lord, should I even... I'm going to share it because I'm not getting that I shouldn't. And it's the truth. So I just ask him to help me just speak the truth. Okay. And not speak my opinions and all that. Okay. So I was on YouTube a couple weeks ago and I was out of the blue. This video pops up, right? And we know sometimes out of the blue is not out of the blue. It's the Lord wanting us to see it. Because it's some information that we need, right? And so I click on the video, and it's a guy, and it's like a video I would never watch, right? Because the heading of it's like, went to a party, and this is what happened. And I'm like, okay. You know, I would never watch that. Like, what? Like, you know, who cares? I mean, you know, I don't mean to say that, but usually stuff I watch is, you know, something has to do with Bible prophecy, or it has to do with, you know, prophetic stuff, or just somebody else who's going through these kinds of things I'm going through, or whatever. But for some reason it popped up and I watched it. Okay, so I clicked on it, and this guy, and he's telling me his story. Oh, he said he lived in Hollywood. That's what it was. It says Hollywood party. You wouldn't believe what happened, or something like that. Okay, so I'm listening to this guy, and I kind of liked him. You know, like I kind of got a feel for his spirit, you know, so I kept listening to him. I felt like it was true, you know, and so he's talking, and he goes, we were invited to this party because he was an influencer, social media influencer, trying to build, you know, a platform. And so they were invited to a party, whatever. And it's like one of them satanic parties, right? But he didn't know it when he was invited. So he got in there, and there was like all this secret crap going on. You know, you've heard about him before. All right, well, to make a long story short, because I don't want to go through his whole party experience, right? Because it's sick, evil stuff. But the whole point of the matter is after he left the party and he would not do what they wanted him to do, right? He started having these things happening to him. They were coming in his place. They were getting in his car. They were turning on his lights and turning on his turn signals. Okay? And so it's like God wanted me to see that so that I would know that this is the same people doing it to him as doing it to us. Okay? And it has to do with something that we've either stood against or will not do. Right? And in his case, it was that he would not deny Christ, right? That he would not deny God. They wanted him to deny God, or to I can't remember exactly how he worded it. Please help me, Lord. Yeah, basically it was to deny Jesus, to deny that Jesus was God. It's like you could believe in anything else, but not Jesus, right? Well, and it wasn't just a matter of denying him. It was a matter of denouncing him, right? They wanted him to denounce him, right? And we all know what that means, right? We cannot denounce him no matter what. Okay, so, and see, you know, and his friend went ahead and went along with it and just, you know, because he's like, you know, he's just like, I just said it, you know, I didn't mean it. But the thing of it is, we can't do that, right? We can't just say that. We can't just say we deny him. We can't do it. Because we know that there's repercussions for that we don't want to face. We fear the Lord more than we fear them. Right? Amen? We fear the Lord more than we fear them. And so we know that we can't do it. Something in our spirit says, no. No, we cannot do that. Right? So the whole point of that story, bringing that into it, was that this is the same thing that was happening to me. And I think that's why the Lord wanted me to see it. Because he wanted me to see, this is not just happening to you, honey. This is happening to people everywhere. This is happening to people at parties, after parties. You know what I mean? This is happening to people, right? This is like a targeted thing where these people get a beat on you because you won't do something that they want you to do, or you stand against something that they stand for. And then they just decide that they hate you, right? And that they're going to do you in. I mean, I guess that's the only, I mean, that part's speculation. Sorry, Father. That part's speculation, that they just hate you and they want to do you in. But I mean, that's the way it feels. Now, what the real reason is, God only knows, because God only knows what's going on in this darkness, right? But we know one thing: we cannot deny him. We can't deny him. We can't stop talking about him. We can't stop standing for him. We can't and we won't stop, right? And that's why they come against us. So I came on to share my, situation in case that anybody else is going through it. Like I said, I called the police. I called my landlord. They're going to be coming over too. We're going to try to, put our heads together and try to figure out how to solve the situation. At least they are listening to me and not gaslighting me. I've been in situations like this where they just gaslit me and acted like I was crazy, right? Or I'm mentally ill, right? This is usually what they'll do. This is all part of it too. They will they will join together, right? And start making it out like you're mental. You're mental, right? They're stealing all your stuff and doing all this stuff to you, but you're the one that's mental. This is what happens. You got to be careful. And you just got to realize that these are dark forces. This is not really the people, right? Some of them are taken over by dark entities that want to take us out. Okay? So don't be mad at the people. Be kind to the people. Be loving to the people, because no matter what, we're supposed to love our enemies. So even if they do gaslight us, we still got to be kind. We still got to be loving. But we know in our spirit, right, not to trust them. Because if you're going to gaslight me about something this serious, you ain't right. Your spirit ain't right. I don't want to say you're not right. Only God knows the condition of their heart. But what I'm saying is their spirit ain't right and you can't trust it. Right? So, anyway, I just wanted to come on, share all that stuff that's going on. Just basically shine a light on their dark deeds, so that hopefully it would help somebody. I know it helped me to get it out. But so they're plotting, and and we know they plot. Surely they will come together against you, but it won't be of me. Those who come together against you will fall for your sake. I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and I created the destroyer to destroy. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Okay? So, amen. Isaiah 54. We are under the covenant blood protection of Jesus. And even if we die, okay, we're going to a better place. So, right? But he promises, he makes promises to keep us, okay, through these situations. So, but we are in our last and evil days. We are in the darkest of times, right? Our brothers and sisters are dying all over the world. So, would it be some kind of, unusual occurrence if one of us got taken out? No, not at all. As a matter of fact, it's pretty common nowadays because, the afflictions of the righteous are many. Right? But the Lord delivers them out of them all. Okay, well, here's the police, so I got to go. I'll talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye-bye.